Hi, Devin here, and welcome back to another Trade the Pool tutorial video. And today we'll be going over our 24/5 trading. This is a feature that we recently launched, and the reason why we did this was to give traders more flexibility as to when they can trade. And what the 24/5 trading does is that it bridges the gap between the close of aftermarket at 8 p.m. ET to the open of pre-market, which essentially allows you to trade 24 hours, 5 days a week from Monday to basically Friday, right? Now, this video is going to be a short one. It shouldn't be long because what I'll be going over is the order types that are allowed. I'll be placing orders just to show you how it works, as well as how to activate the overnight feature and basically just give you a walkthrough of how that specific feature works, right? Now, let's go back to the Trader Evolution platform. And before you start trading in the overnight session, one thing you want to do first is you would want to go ahead and toggle this on. So when you select this option here and you toggle this on, it activates the overnight trading. So you're able to place orders during the overnight session. Now, I'm just going to give you a quick example here. As I promised, this video will be a short one because it's essentially the same thing where you're just trading, but in this session, you're trading overnight, right? Now, as I mentioned, you're only able to use limit orders, and I'm just going to give you an example of a popular stock here, which is NVIDIA, right? It's one of the most heavily traded stocks out there. So I'm going to buy 10 shares of NVIDIA, go long, so buy ask, and let me just go here on NVIDIA. Hold on here. Let me select the 25K account. Sync the account. Awesome. Now, I'm going to go ahead and buy 10 shares of NVIDIA. And there we go. So when I went ahead just now and bought 10 shares of NVIDIA, it opened immediately because I bought on the ask, which it basically is like a hotkey essentially, because what it does, it just gives you an immediate fill on the best available ask price of the time. So I bought 10 shares on the ask, and I'm gonna go here to fill orders, and you can see the order has been filled. It went through successfully, and there's an open position, right? It shows you all the details here. Now, I want to close that trade, so I'm just gonna go ahead and sell on the bid. And voila. Look at that. So I just opened 10 shares on the ask and closed 10 shares on the bid, and the position has been opened and closed. Now, if you wanted to go short, it's essentially the same thing. You just sell on the bid, and to close it, you will buy on the ask, right? And you can also use the order entry option. Let's say you wanted to not use the chart order entry. You would ensure that you toggle this feature on here, select the limit order, and because we want to use, for example, here and want the order to be filled right away, I'm just going to link this to the NVIDIA, and then here we go. So NVIDIA is currently trading at 186.93, and because we want it to be filled right away, we're going to put it at 187, so that any price that is below this 187 gets filled, and place an order. NVIDIA, 100 shares, 10 shares here. So, and place an order. And there we go. So right here, we have a long position opened on NVIDIA for 10 shares, open price 186.94. That was filled immediately. And if we want to close, we would just follow the same principle here. It's currently trading at 186.94. So I'm just going to put it at 186. And then I'm going to place an order, and there you go. It closed it. So it's pretty simple in the overnight session. It's pretty straightforward. You can only use limit orders. Now, what we also did is we went ahead and we added a section to the FAQs where traders can also get all the necessary information that they need on that specific new feature, which is 24/5 trading. So when you pull up the Trade the Pool website and you select this option here that says FAQs, it will bring you to the FAQ section. And then on the side, you would be able to select the 24/5 trading, and it will give you a series of questions and answers based on popular questions that traders would have had to ask about the platform, right? So what are the exact 24/5 trading hours? And the active session is Monday, 3 a.m. ET to Friday, 8 p.m. ET, right? And there's no weekend sessions. So order type, as mentioned before, in the overnight session, like with the pre-market and aftermarket, you're only able to use limit orders. So that includes stop limit orders. You can use that. And for protection, you can't use a stop loss because a stop loss is a market order. You would have to use a limit order against the trade. So if you went long, you could put a limit order to sell, right? And that would close out a position if the trade is going against you. The buying power in the overnight session is the same as the buying power in the pre and aftermarket, which is 16% of the regular market buying power, right? So if you have a $100,000 account, you'll be able to only use $16,000. The total buying power you will have is $16,000 in the overnight session. Are you allowed to trade news? Definitely. You can trade news, but you can't trade earnings. So the same principle applies where earnings, whenever a stock is reporting earnings, it will be restricted for trading during that period of time, right? During the aftermarket, which would essentially mean the overnight session going into the pre-market. What symbols are available? So basically 3,500 tickers, and those are all the symbols that are offered by Blue Ocean, right? Because the data feed for the 24/5 comes from them. So mostly popular stocks and stocks that will be more liquid. And this differs from the regular after extended hours trading because it's giving you more flexibility, right? And is the data feed live? Definitely. Data feed is live. All data feed that we provide here at Trade the Pool is live. And if you have any further questions or any confusions or want to clear up anything, you can always come to our chat. We operate 24/7. You can reach us at email, which is the email that you can find on our website, and contact us, and we're always available and ready to help. Thank you for joining this tutorial session, and take care until next time.